again, solely like that didn't come out of nowhere, but people just think, people have died to protect that flag, and you're not gonna this anthem, and you're not gonna stand for it.
My understanding is that he asked someone in the armed forces.
Yes. So this is what I was about to get to. Please explain. So he actually talked to Nate Boyer, who is also an NFL player, and he asked him, "What do you think? What do you think the best thing to do would be? How can we do this? I'm not trying to protest against."
So this gentleman was in the.
Nate Boyer is in the NFL,
and he used
to be a Green Beret.
Okay.
Yeah. Nate Boyer actually he actually provided some really great advice. He told him that soldiers take a knee in front of fallen brothers' graves, so to show respect.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Nate Boyer suggested that that's what he should do. So Colin Kaepernick started kneeling, right, before the game, and then it turned into a bigger issue because people thought he was persisting and he was doing this against the same things we're talking about, against the government, against the flag, against the armed forces. It's got nothing to do with any of that. Even the armed forces understood what he was saying and what he was trying to protest. He spoke to several people within the armed forces. It wasn't just Nate Boyer.
Sure.
And they advised him correctly, and they told him to continue his protests, but Americans clearly got pissed off about it.
So he basically didn't just do it out of his own, go, you know what, I'm going to kneel.
Initially he did.
Okay.
What he was doing initially, he didn't ask advice for, so just sitting down.
Okay, sitting down. Sure.
Right?
Sure.
But the kneeling...
The sitting down isn't an issue, is it?
No.
The kneeling is the issue.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying. So he didn't say, I'm just going to kneel.
Yep.
He asked experts.
Correct. He asked people who have been in the armed forces.
Sure.
And are in the armed forces.
Sure.
And they thought that was suitable.
The appropriate way to go about it.
It was the appropriate and suitable way to do this.
Now, this national anthem, the third verse, isn't the third verse apparently, terrible. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's extremely racist if you hear it, either third or fourth verse, something like that.
That's why they cut those parts out.
Sure.
And plus, you don't want to sit for 5 minutes, reciting. Who wants to stand there and sing all the verses? But yeah, look, at the end of the day, that's what he did. There was a big hoopla, and it got really bad where the whole NFL collectively basically barred him from the sport, right? Barred him. Basically, he couldn't get a job after his last season in San Francisco, despite the fact that he took them to an NFL championship, and after that he still took them to the NFC championship the following year. Yeah. So. Not many QBs can say that they've done that. Very, very few.
Was his contract up?
His contract was up. But then they just
didn't renew it. And no other team would take him.
No other team would take him.
Was he good enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Even now in his advanced age, because, quarterbacks don't take on as much abuse and whatever in comparison to other violence, let me just say, because it really is violence. Yeah. They don't have to deal with it. He can still play. And I think he's better than a majority of the players out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, just in terms of his football nous, in terms of his experience.
So they're making an scapegoat out of him.
Basically. And it was genuine collusion against it. All the owners collectively decided he's not going to. All of them.
Wow.
And he didn't. So other things happened. He sued the NFL. They settled out of court.
Oh, did they? Okay.
So he did get a settlement. I don't know how much. No one knows how much. No one knows.
So if you settle out of court, then you're not going to play then. Isn't that how it works? Settled. He
settled, but teams are interested now because of everything that's happened. There are some teams that might be taking him on. Yeah, after all this.
Shut up.
Yeah, so he could be back in the NFL.
Isn't it a bit weird that he took a knee, a policeman takes a knee on a black man's head?
Right? Such a weird thing,
It's such a weird thing.
It's crazy.